We are so excited to be here again with you this evening on this crisp, cold, I guess cold is a better word, cold Poconos Day. Although our guest is coming from tropical climes. We'll hear more about that in a little bit. We want to thank our sponsor, brokersrealty.com. If you want to buy, sell, auction off, or rent property, make sure you get in touch with brokersrealty.com of Stroudsburg and ask for Sarah Smith Katz, one of their best agents. She's super, super busy, but she has time for you, right, Sarah?
I absolutely do. And I hope that some of you people that are interested in selling your homes reach out to me because we are very, very low in inventory. And now is a good time to list. So, hi, Aaliyah. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you. I bet you've been in the throes of teaching Leo or being in class with Leo.
Today was actually our first class back.
Really?
Well, we were in, last week was all asynchronous, which is like, you don't have to be on at a set time because they had the benchmark testing for school. But this week, and then yesterday, and then today we were back, and then we're back to asynchronous tomorrow. I don't know. It's a little crazy.
I don't know how you parents that are homeschooling, how you keep it straight. I really don't.
It's actually, you know what? It's actually not that bad because it's a set schedule. You know, it's a set schedule. And then like for last week, because we're kind of on a schedule and in a routine, doing the async is not so bad because I'm a pretty disciplined person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pretty organized, disciplined person anyway, you know. And yes, there's been days where it's like, do we have to? Of course, you know, no matter how organized you are, how into it you are, or whatever, you're always going to have days where it's like, do we have to? But then it's like, I have to be kind of a good example. Unfortunately, I have to be a good example. So, you know, it hasn't been that bad. And we always incorporate some sort of home ec lesson or, you know, obviously if the weather's nice, we're outside, you know, doing something outside. Like yesterday we made, because it has been cold, we made fleece no-sew scarves yesterday because
on Facebook. Very cute.
So I think we're on to doing the no-sew blankets next time. I've done them before. I did them years and years ago when my nieces and nephews were little. And now that I have this guy and he's kind of into all that kind of stuff. So we're doing that. And interesting. So that was fun. Sunday we baked, you know, like we're always doing. And then I guess we'll get into our Valentine's.
Yeah, time.
I'm still organizing my craft supplies. So what we're talking about today, you know, last week we talked about sort of, you know, getting your calendar, your vision board or your word of the year, sort of getting either that in gear for yourself, kind of like, you know, where you put your bill, you know, your those type of goals, like where's all your important papers, all that kind of stuff. Today or last week while he was in asynchronous, I worked on his bedroom, my son's bedroom, right? Because little kids, you know, tend to collect a lot of things. I mean, I had a whole bucket of Happy Meal toys. And you know what? I'm embarrassed to say how much McDonald's, you know, now you can see it kind of what you collect. You know, little kids, they think everything's a treasure. So we were doing that and doing the clothes and doing all the donating stuff. And in his room in particular, we have our only linen closet. In this house, we turned his closet into our linen closet. So we have he has a couple hanging things, but then everything else is the towels. So today, and I posted earlier today, if you didn't have a chance to look, I really getting into rolling things. So instead of having like putting your towels flat, I sort of now roll everything up because what was happening was, and I should have taken a before and after picture, right? It's Catherine, right?
Katrin, yes.
Katrin, yes. Katrin, don't you think that's like us? Because most of the time our linen closet's behind a door, right?
Yeah.
Like it's closed up, right? So it's very easy to not visit there, you know, unless you're going in, you're like, you don't look, you kind of grab the towel or you grab the extra toothpaste or whatever you have in there, right? And then you kind of, it's sight unseen because it's usually a closed door. But what was happening was I would go to pull something out and everything was falling out. So I really am all your towels were coming out with it, or the washcloths, those little, so I started rolling everything. And I have to tell you, just like the picture, it takes just as much time to roll as it does to fold, and it looks so much prettier. Now, it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. This is not for Instagram, right? This is like real life, what do we do to make our life easier sort of stuff. And even the stuff that is behind a closed door, right, Sarah? Like, even if it is behind a closed door, you still have to use it. You still have to find it, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what the example that I wanted to show today. It doesn't have to be picture perfect. It has to be functional. It has to work for you. Now, in some people's houses, they might have 3 towels. So folding them, or
they don't have a linen closet.
Or they don't have a linen closet or whatever, you kind of, but even if you made your own linen closet, if it was like a shelf from IKEA or egg crates or something in the corner in your bathroom. My mother in her half bath has a little cabinet. You still have to function and find your stuff, right, Katrin? I mean, I don't know what your situation is there in Guam, right?
We actually have a really gorgeous 4-bedroom.
Oh, nice. So you could have a whole room that you could make into a closet, right? Yes. That's awesome. Right. But like in the States, and most of us live, unless you have a house that you've custom built or just happen to have the newer homes, I think kind of accommodate that, right? Sarah, you're in a lot of houses. I think the new homes tend to accommodate the pantry, the linen closet on each floor, sort of thing. I live in a house from the 40s. It's just
now I live in a house from 1978. So I do have a linen closet, but I don't have a lot of storage. And in the 1-bedroom, the closet seriously is like, I don't know who they thought was going to be hanging clothes in it, because it is so narrow. It's not, and it's very narrow. So
right.
I'll turn that into a linen closet. I haven't decided yet.
Katrin, when you moved, when you moved, and I do remember seeing it, on Facebook, kind of that process. Did you have to I would imagine you probably went through a very big unloading process.
Oh, yes.
Before you packed up, right?
4 pallet-sized crates that we put everything in, and that's all we brought.
And that's all you brought. And then did you end up putting stuff in storage? I mean, or here in the States, or?
There's a couple things at my dad's house, but other than that, no, we got rid of everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, in your case, you kind of had an incident, or you had a reason to sort of, purge or clean out, and you weren't going to take, obviously, you're not going to take certain things with you. Yes. You really kind of had to go through that process. What was that process like? Like, were you like, were you doing the Marie Kondo, where you're like, thank you for your service to my life, I love you? Or was it just like, I have to move, oh my gosh, we have to ship stuff?
Yeah, more like that.
So yes, I think, we it's funny. We talk about this at the beginning of the year, right? Because it's like always that like renewal, get your SHIT together, in your home or wherever it is. And some of us have more, we have more kids than others, or we have a smaller space, or we live in apartments or a condo or maybe we do have a big house. Maybe it's just loaded to the gills. I don't know. But I think as human beings, especially in this country, I think we go kind of through that metamorphosis process. We and then we kind of don't think about it during the year as we're kind of collecting stuff. I think we have to kind of more or less say, as we hit those flea markets, or as we hit those yard sales, or as we kind of acquire, it's like, okay, wait a minute. I just purged in January. Now I'm kind of like through the year, so it's kind of like not what happens just in January, right, Sarah? Don't you think we have to think about it?
I think that because we live where there are 4 distinct seasons.
Yeah. So we happen all in 1 week.
Right. So
we have stuff available.
But
I've been through that. It happens.
It happens. Yeah.
Cold winter clothing, and then we have our, spring clothing, and then we have our summer clothing. Because you do dress differently for each season. I think probably where you are now, you probably need less clothing, because you said it's like 80 degrees year round. So you can
very close.
Right. Right.
So you didn't take your parka with you, basically. That did not take up space.
stayed at my dad's. That's some of the stuff stayed at my dad's.
Yeah,
'cause
you
he was-
wouldn't need this big thick sweater like what I'm wearing today because I'm always cold. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're exactly. So yeah, Sarah's point is like in a house like this or a house like Holly's is that we have to put the clothes in the tubs and switch them out,
Mhm.
especially the big bulky sweaters. And then you kind of have to look and say, okay, well, is there anywhere? Can I suspend it from the ceiling? Is there anywhere that I can put this? That I'm not carrying the tubs. I was saying to my husband, I was like, do we really need the bar in the closet to be that high? Can we come down a little bit and sort of put a show? Because it would be really nice if I could like fold my sweaters up and put them in there. So, you kind of have to like, what can I suspend from the ceiling? What can I put under the bed is nice too. Like if you're looking at your stuff and you've cleaned out and you're like, I am absolutely not, I love these sweaters. I love this, whatever it is, can you put stuff? We were like, let's put some drawers under the bed. You know what I mean? And it wasn't to like acquire more stuff. It was to, okay, we decided that we're going to keep this. Like I tend to not, I will wear this sweater. You will see me in this sweater. And as long as I take care of it and it stays together and I wrap it properly, you'll see me in this 20 years from now. I'm still wearing a poncho that my mother had when I was born. So like, you take care of it, you keep it. And then they're like classics. You don't get rid of them. You invest, and then you keep it. So you kind of have to decide, okay, through this whole process of January, it's like, what am I keeping? What am I getting rid of? What am I keeping? Do I really love it? And all that nonsense, hugging it, thanking it for its service. Do you get rid of it the whole 9 yards? And then like deciding, okay, well, if I'm going to keep this, where am I going to put it? Does my home accommodate? Do I have a child? Like Holly has a child going to college next year. If I were her, this is what I would do. I'd kick him and say, you're not coming back because mommy's turning that into a closet. But, I'm turning it into a closet / spa / mom cave /
Well, actually, I was considering turning it into a place where I could sleep because my husband snores like crazy.
Right. Mom is, like, where are you in the so I don't want people to think because we do go through this, like, I don't want
you can have a big house and you can have a small house and they both need organization.
Right.
You can have a really big house and you can have a really tiny house like I do, and you still need lots of organization. So I think maybe if we can kind of go, there's a lot. So we got closets, we got our living spaces, we've got our bedrooms, we've got our kitchens, there's every space in the house has a little bit of a different need. And the really cool thing is that Katrin sells 31. So we're going to talk a little bit about 31. And the really cool thing is it's an online business. So she can do it from everywhere. So she's continuing on from Guam. And a thing she reminded us of, Guam is a U.S. territory. So it gets
yes, it
US
is.
mail.
I have been to Guam, actually. It was as I was a flight attendant. We went to Guam, Northwest went to Guam, and I had a very good, I have nothing bad to say. Do I remember specifics? No, but I do, I have nothing bad to say about it. It was very lovely. I wasn't there for very long. It was a short layover. Unfortunately, I never got the tropical stuff, Seattle, I could be there for like 3 or 4 days and it could be raining or wherever. I was in the Philippines too. It rained the entire time I was there. Hot and steamy. But I do remember, but it was quite a few years ago. It was when I was a flight attendant for Northwest. So it would have been, 2000 to 2002. So it was a while ago. But very cool that you can still do your business, the interwebs and all of that kind of stuff.
That's true too.
Yeah. Thank God for that, right?
So should we start with a room? Whose room is a mess? Which room is a mess in your house, girls?
My closet is a total mess.
Closet. Okay.
I think closets are such a problem because they are behind a door.
Mm-hmm.
And I think psychologically we try to, I think we say, yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll do it. And it is. I think that if you break the seal and just do it, you'd be surprised how not very painful it is. I tend to put on like a show, so I'll have like a show in the background or whatever I'm listening to, music. I have a drink. I kind of get myself set up for it. And just if you do it, and imagine how nice you'll feel when you do it. Which closet is it, Sarah? Is it a bedroom closet?
It's my bedroom closet.
It's your bedroom closet.
And what I find is that, for instance, I have a coat closet in my foyer, but I
Mhm.
don't really necessarily use that for
Mm.
coats. It's more of a storage area for
Mhm.
brooms and things like that. So I need to clean out the areas that have a specific purpose and not use them for something else, if that
Mhm.
makes any sense.
You
Because
need
I
to
don't
zone. You need to zone your closets. You need to decide.
know. So I really need to use my coat closet for my coats and quit trying to put them in my bedroom closet and keep all of my clothes together, because it doesn't work, because
Right.
coats take up so much room.
They
It's
do,
very
right?
hard, so
Yeah, you
that's
don't have to worry about those big bulky coats.
Oh,
Big bulky coats and sweaters. They do truly take up a lot of space. They do.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
living where we have to do.
something.
So Sarah, it seems like you have to zone your
I do
stuff.
need its own. I
Yeah.
to empty out my coat closet and use it for coats.
Mhm.
That's my first thing.
And then you have to decide, that closet you're putting your brooms and I guess your vacuum cleaner or whatever you're putting in there, is
Mhm.
that you have another place to put, what's the most logical place for that
Mhm.
stuff to go,
Well,
right?
because I have a whole garage, I think that I actually am going to
Mm.
get something to keep all that stuff in my garage to
Right.
get
They've got those things you can hang them on the wall with.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. So
Oh, there's so many things. There's like Rubbermaid makes utility closet. You could get like a whole closet, like a whole a unit, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
And like you said, if you can't even do that, the command hooks. I mean, they're amazing. They're really amazing. Do I think you should put them all over your walls in every place for everything? Maybe not. I mean, if you live in a dorm and you have to be able to pull them up. But we use command hooks for our Christmas decorations outside, our Christmas lights. So they actually will go down, and it gets so cold too, What's that?
How many command hooks do you have out there then?
You know what? Not very many, because Jeff put up the old fashioned, but then there's certain places that we have to have them. So that being said, they are weather resistant, So they'll hold a broom or a broomstick or two, So it sounds like you have to kind of decide, you're going to have to get something so that
I
you
just
can
have
move.
to kind of do one of these. Like I move everything around, because when I first moved in here, it was situation, and then I also moved my mom in at the same time, and all of her
Right.
belongings. My mom has since passed away, so I have sorting to do. I have
Right.
lots of sorting to do.
And it always, oh, I have a cat in a box over here. It is always worse before it gets better too. Like, and I think people are afraid of that, like where it gets a little chaotic. Like if you've ever done the clothes switch where you lay the clothes on the bed or like pull everything out, and then you're like, oh my God, what have I done? And then you kind of get overwhelmed. You know what I mean? And you kind of like, but you have to be kind of like, it's going to get ugly. It's going to be weird. It's going to be crazy. But then kind of like think about, so I think that people procrastinate, like what I just said before. It's like, just do it, rip the Band-Aid off. And once you get started, I think too, people are like, oh, it is disruptive. It is disruptive to have, depending on the size of your home or where how you're living, to have all your stuff. You know what I mean? I think that's why I hate putting away the Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
I find that very disruptive.
I think that anything that goes behind doors and that you have to wrap up and close, like Katrin, what do you have that's like closet?
Look at Lily.
What's a specific closet?
I see a naughty kitty cat behind you.
I don't know what she's doing, but she's completely out of control right now, and she's gonna knock something over. I can tell.
But what would you do with that, Katrin? What would you suggest you do? Oh, I have one of those in my car.
Yes, this is a Your Way cube. This one has a window.
Oh, I like that.
So yes, you can either personalize it. So let's say you want to put your seasonal clothes in here. You can instead of putting a specific season, just write seasonal. So that way, perhaps your sweaters can go in there. So this side is seasonal, but this side you can see.
Right, and you'd be able to see what you have in there. And that comes in different prints, correct?
Seasonal items.
That comes in different prints?
Yes, different prints and 2 different sizes. This one is the rectangular cube. It also comes in a square. The square
Okay.
seems to be a little bigger.
That would be nice in a linen closet to put your, your back stock. Like most of us don't just have towels, washcloths, rags, whatever, or blankets. We have our backup, I don't know, toothpaste, first aid, shampoo,
Right?
our unmentionable feminine hygiene products, that we don't want when you do open the cabinet. Maybe you don't want all that stuff on
Look
display.
at that. That looks like that would be great for towels.
Yeah, that's cute. I like the print on that.
Rolling them.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm telling you guys, the rolling is like, it's going to be your new best friend. I'm
I
telling
might
you.
have to roll my towels now.
It looks, you know what? I think it looks nice. And you know what? Your spouse can do it.
Well, I don't have a linen closet, and my towels actually, I went and I bought a little stool at IKEA, and my towels sit on that stool because
they're on display.
So
now you're gonna have to get something, put it on its
I'm
side.
gonna have to get one of those buckets.
You're gonna have to do it
I'm
now.
gonna have to get one of those buckets from Katrin and roll them up. Yeah, I think I need that.
Yeah, you need something. Like that. Yeah.
Then we have these that they use for packing, but you could also use this also for the seasonal clothing storage.
Okay.
It comes in large and medium and small, so that when you pack, you can keep some stuff separate. And you can actually put a lot of things into even the small.
Right.
So
and they look like that they would even slide under the bed.
Right. Yes.
Right.
They definitely would, because they're only so thick. They're not super.
Right.
Woo.
So if you don't have the underbed storage containers or the drawers like we do, you could do something like that. And then your stuff doesn't get, what I don't like is like if your stuff is so exposed that it gets dusty. It could get dusty. And that doesn't mean that your house is dirty. That's not what that means. It's just it's like it's inevitable that stuff is flying around, right? And then it gets trapped.
You hardly ever go under your bed, so of course.
Don't forget to go under your bed. My mother taught me that from a very young age, to always vacuum under the bed, because especially if you have animals,
yes,
that's where you sleep. Not to be gross or anything, but we know about
dead
dead skin.
Stuff under there if you don't check it out every
right. There's all kind of stuff. And if you're an allergic person, if you have asthma, allergies, especially if you don't want that collecting and then breathing that in. So she taught me that from a very young age. So I always vacuum under my bed. Thank you, Mother. If you're watching, I appreciate that tip.
And speaking of laundry, though, we got
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yes, it's
Wow,
got
that was a good one.
Yeah,
Does that
right.
stand up by itself.
because of these.
Okay.
I like that.
So it
That's
does
great for like a college. That's great for college.
Exactly. I have to buy a whole dorm room full of stuff shortly. We have to.
One of these available for the college kids that has a top that cinches closed and has a strap that goes from top to bottom that they could put on more like a backpack.
Oh wow,
for laundry.
That's awesome.
that's perfect. Yeah,
But
that's
it's new,
perfect.
so I don't have that one yet.
That's
But yeah,
perfect
I
for
think I
somebody
need
too.
that.
Like I have my laundry is in the basement, and so is Holly's. So we have to go downstairs. So where our bedroom is to down, where we collect our laundry to downstairs, and it gets to be sometimes a pain in the to carry the.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
close
I
the
have to
door.
come up with an alternative solution because right now I use my 18-year-old son. He carries.
Oh, well,
Right when he's not there,
Mhm.
right?
The other nice thing about this is a lot of people use this, since the holidays just ended, wrapping paper tubes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And you can, of course, everything pretty much we have can get personalized.
yeah.
And so if you wanted to have separate ones for people to maybe separate, I know very few of us separate our laundry these days, but if you wanted whites, darks, and lights, you could get 3 that say whites that make it easier for you when you're doing the laundry.
Is that mesh at all or is it solid fabric?
This is solid.
Okay.
Yeah. All the way.
Okay.
Yep.
That's really cool.
It's
That's
washable. You can take a wet cloth and just wipe it.
Wipe
Very
it down.
okay. See, I think I need that for the beach.
I think
Oh,
you need that.
We do have mesh ones though for to let sand out and everything too.
Yeah,
though.
because all the stuff that you want to take to the beach is always misshapen. Like nothing is like easy to pack,
Right.
you
right.
know, and you have to get it from wherever you're staying to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And
Large utility totes would probably work good for that too.
I've tried, like, we had the little wagon the one time. We had the thing that looked like a shopping cart, and you kind of pull it with you, and
Yeah.
like, nothing works.
Yeah.
Nothing
Sand
works.
Sand is
Yeah.
tricky. It can be
It
tricky.
is.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Well, I
So
like
we
the
talked-
idea
oh,
of using that.
Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
I like that using that for rolled paper, like especially now that we're done with Christmas.
Yeah.
Trying to get rid, because you don't want to throw all that paper away, and it's really hard to store sometimes.
It is. It is. I noticed that my husband purged his office, so all of the wrapping paper that he had hiding, he just kind of put downstairs. Like, he
Yeah.
didn't put it anywhere in particular.
Right. Right.
So, you know, it's good to have a spot for things like that, and that would be a great item. How's everybody doing with their kitchen? Now, I know Leah's very into kitchen organization.
Yeah, I don't do my kitchen right now. I save that for the spring. I have definite things that I do. I do the clothes twice a year, and mostly for my son because they grow so fast. And then luckily we have another person younger in the family, so he benefits from that. So I do that like twice a year. So I do that now. And also my son got a piano for Christmas. So we gave him the piano in the living room where we had Christmas, and then it had to move into his bedroom. So the whole reason kind of for doing it now is that I had to get that piano in, and we had to move some stuff around. And so I did that. And I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the linen closet, and I'm going to do the drawers and clean out. And then my other nephew can benefit, you know, from the clothes. Mm-hmm. The kitchen, I do literally save till the spring, and we are going to be painting the kitchen this year. So I'm going to probably be doing it. I'm going to coordinate that with that time of painting, because it really wouldn't make sense for me to do it now and then to do it again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so bedrooms, closets, towels, you know, I did all of the medicines. We have back stock of just about everything, you know, Neosporin, Band-Aids, vitamins. We take vitamins every day, the three of us. But you know, all of those things. So I literally checked my expiration dates. I checked, is everything in its own box? You know, what you showed us before, Katrin, with the window would be great. Like your back stock of Band-Aids, all of, you know, whatever. We also have an emergency kit. So if we have to grab stuff, if we have to grab stuff in a quick, for whatever reason, we also have an emergency kit of all the things that we use on a daily basis that goes in there. So I just wanted to make sure, are we expired on anything? Do I need to replace anything? So doing that kind of stuff. And I also went through, and we talked about this last week, I think, 1,000 magazines. I literally have
a little bit of a magazine addiction.
So that took a week, because what I do is I go through each magazine, I clip out for different purposes, save things, and then recycle the magazine. So that took like 3 or 4 days. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it depends on how many rooms you have, where you spend most of your time, where is the problem area. I don't think I would advise people to go. You don't necessarily have to go through the whole house, especially after what I think some people did do that when they were first quarantined, or maybe that they were home from their job or home from school. I think people did take the opportunity, but the problem is then we were all living in the house every day, day in and day out. So then you kind of have to do it again. So I don't advise people to have to go through every single room, every single closet, and sit down and think about what is the problem area. So for Sarah, her closets are she's going to start with her closets.
My nemesis. Yep.
I actually did my kitchen because we redesigned our kitchen like about a year-ish ago. And I have 2 very large open shelves that run the length of my one side of my kitchen, and everybody can see everything that's on it. And what happened over the holidays with parties and such, I just kept shoving stuff onto the shelves. So organizing the shelves and making them look pretty so that when people come over, they're not seeing my junk. They're seeing, that's kind of where I'm at.
Right. Well, you had a situational. It's not necessarily going to happen every year or every 6 months. Like you had a situation. That's why I'm not doing the kitchen right now, because it would be kind of silly to do the kitchen if I'm going to go ahead and repaint and do all kinds of stuff and get glass front cabinets and whatever, wherever we're going to do and organize my pretty things against my ugly thing, you know, my things that I don't want people to see. And like the mug collection.
Organized.
Right.
Open shelving is something to get used to, because you
Yeah.
don't think about it isn't behind a door. So for open shelving, what do you got going on that's pretty looking, Katrin? I got these things. I started we have a coffee problem here in my house. We have all kinds of coffee. Like we have our regular coffee.
Who
that's
doesn't
giant.
have a coffee problem?
We have a regular coffee that's in a giant container. Then we have like Death Wish coffee and
Is it really a problem? Is it
yeah,
really?
so-
I don't think it's
well,
really a
it's
problem.
not a problem. It just looks ugly when you've got like
Right.
it
So
looks ugly.
we
Yeah.
put ours into glass jar. Like I
Well, I
put
got
my stuff
these.
into glass
I
jars.
got these. I
Yeah.
got a bunch of these that are airtight, and I'm gonna label them. So I'm gonna directly put foodstuffs in this, but I also have other stuff that could go into a basket. What do you got, Katrin?
Oh, well, one of the things I was thinking about would be something that could be used for home office and or your kitchen, which I personally, if you can tell, is using it for more of home office with pens in it. But I've seen people use this with knives, forks, and spoons.
Like for like, I like the idea of that too, because Holly has a lot of picnics and things outside, so she could put her utensils in it and then just carry it. Just carry
Outside.
it right outside. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
very cute.
Yeah, that is
And
cute.
Of course, personalize it however you want, depending on what you're using it for. So if it's going to go in your coffee nook for something, you could end up putting something for coffee on it, and maybe put stirrers.
Yeah, I mean
And-
that's the thing. Because it's personalized doesn't mean you need to put your like initials or your name on it. You could put
Right. No, you can
you
put
could
anything
put,
on it.
like coffee bar on it or
Yeah.
Party time.
party time.
Party
Whatever
time.
makes you
Picnic.
happy, right?
Yeah,
Go
that's
grab
really
something
cute.
real quick.
Or that would be pretty on a desk for a gentleman.
Mhm.
A gentleman is very because I think a lot of the organizational stuff out there errs on the side of girly or feminine or whatever, and sometimes it's kind of hard to find things like that could also go on a man's desk or in
Yeah.
their office.
Oh, that's
Or like, again, we were going with the coffee corner. Let's say you're having people over,
Mhm.
get them all their cups of coffee and bring it on out to them.
now, is that
Adorable.
what kind of, is that wood?
Yes, this is wood. Yes, 31 does more than just bags. You got to remember
know,
that.
I have to say, I didn't realize that. I
Mhm.
didn't that it was more than just bags.
Yes.
Did you that?
I did, yes, I
You
did.
know
I have
what?
not bought. I have not purchased.
I know what I want that for. I'm seeing things and I know what I want it for. I like to take a full cocktail bar outside in the summer when I have
Mhm.
parties, and you need to have something that's sturdy enough to hold bottles of liquor.
Ooh, how nice
glasses.
is that?
Mhm. This one's a circle one.
And look, you
Yeah.
have your name, and you have your name on there. Yeah, that's nice.
Yes, this one I put our name on.
And that you could say anything. You could say cheese, say cheese,
Mhm.
say cheese,
Yeah.
or something
And
like
use
that.
it
would
for
be
your
cute.
charcuterie.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we have
Yeah.
a singular one like this as well that would work for the same
you could
thing.
probably even hang that on the wall too when you're not using it.
Yes.
You could
It's
probably
so
hang that on the wall.
pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty. That's a nice gift. If
It
somebody's
is
getting
pretty.
married, if somebody's being foolish and getting married, I'm just kidding.
That's a really good housewarming gift.
It's also
I'm-
Sarah. It's a very good housewarming.
That's what
Very
I
good
was
housewarming.
thinking.
Hello, Amanda. Amanda is watching us tonight. How are you, Amanda? Happy Tuesday.
I made her laugh. She told me she messaged me and shh, but her husband snores too.
Oh, and Amanda, if you're still on, let us know. Are you doing any? I know she's homeschooling as well, or cyber schooling. Like a mad woman over there. She's got, I think,
The home office stuff then.
yeah. So
But
Amanda, if you're still watching, let us know if you're doing any sort of organizing and how you're doing it, because we always like to know like tips, because it's not just about how we do things.
Right.
It's maybe there's a tip out there. You know, we need to know. We like to
Well,
always learn new things.
I'm
This is
definitely
the nice thing about
interested in
these-
office stuff for sure.
I like that cheese board too, or whatever.
Safe. It does, I mean, you're not gonna be able to read it on, maybe if I could get it close enough, but they are food safe.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
okay. Awesome.
Oh, and made in India. I like the idea of that too. Yeah.
So
That is very nice.
that's neat there. So fold-in files. Speaking of offices, because we're all doing what? Working from home.
Right.
Yeah.
You could
have-
even take that in your car there, Sarah. So
Mhm.
you could,
Yes, I could.
and then take it and pick it up and take it because Sarah is mobile. I would say what, 75% of the time?
Yep.
Because you're showing
Yeah.
homes and
Well, because of COVID, we are very seldom at our office, but there are times when we have to go from being at home to the office.
Mhm.
Right.
And then I get there and I'm like, oh, I forgot that. So that would be great because I could put all of my stuff in there and then just pick it up and take it with me.
Right. You're using it at home. It travels. You can use it at the office.
Is you can get, like I was saying, if you're a teacher and you wanted 5 of them for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for all your stuff. Then
Wow.
to make it more professional, you can get a Cindy tote.
Mm-hmm.
and stick that right in there.
Oh, cool.
And switch it out for each day of the week. And the
Oh,
Cindy tote
great.
gets closed so that you don't gotta worry about it being open.
Oh, that's
anybody-
great.
Because the Cindy tote is pretty much just a big open bag.
So that's a great way for teachers to stay organized. That's a great way for moms to stay.
Realtors. Yeah. Realtors. I like that.
It fits in those. It also fits in our essential storage totes. This one I have the letter D on.
Very
That's
good.
great.
A nice diaper bag, sort of car bag type of thing.
Yup. And speaking of moms, you gotta have an organized purse, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Of course, this is also 31.
Of course. Why would
This
it
is
be
a
anything
big
else?
Got a clip and we sell straps. So let's say, you're somewhere and you don't want to bring your whole purse.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if maybe you only want to bring what's in here. If you have a
Mhm.
strap on it, it's like a little clutch kind of.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Our favorite wallet, all about the Benjamins. Same thing. You don't want your whole purse, but you need your ID and your credit card.
Mhm.
Right.
That zips shut, doesn't it? That one zips shut all the way around,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
There are a lot of cute wristlets out there, but a lot of them snap. So your stuff isn't completely contained.
Right.
Right.
I got an empty all about the Benjamins.
Is that a security wallet? Is that RFID? Does that have the RFID chip?
I don't believe it is
Okay.
at the moment, but that is something I personally, I know I've been talking to corporate about is the fact that you kind of need in today's world with the chips and everything,
Mhm.
to get that kind of protection in our wallets.
So that's
But-
good enough to hold a checkbook and a phone and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yes. In fact, I brought my phone out here just for that purpose.
People are always looking for, the quick and easy, especially since COVID, because I don't like to take my whole purse into stores because I don't want to sit it in the dirty cart and then put it back in my car and then in my house. So I just pull something out. And a lot of the times I put my credit card in my back pocket and it's not the best idea. because I don't have the best memory about where I put it.
I do
For those
have a,
of us,
that's what I use.
eyeglasses,
Okay.
but it also fits your phone, if that's what you would like.
Okay.
Stick your credit card up front here in the little zipper pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Or, we've all got to wear these now.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a good place to
So-
stick your
So, we don't often we think about our closets, we think about our kitchens, we think about, under the bed, all those things that we, traditionally clean out, the clothes and all that kind of stuff. We also have to think about, you know, as a woman or a mom or whatever, you know, go through the diaper bags, go through the purses. I have gone through, you know, whether I'm getting to ready to donate or pass them on, I go through my, obviously you're going to go through your purses and your bags, you know, before you donate them or whatever. You know, people don't think about having it organized. We just keep throwing stuff in, you know, take time to do that. Makeup bags is another thing, you know, like the next part of my, more so than the kitchen for me, is I'm going through the medicine cabinet, I don't know if like you are like me, where you have a lot of makeup bags, you know, or different makeup. So you want to make sure also to go through the makeup and your beauty products, because, you know, they do expire. All beauty products, your mascara, you know, and if you haven't been wearing as much makeup as you used to wear, because maybe you're not going to the office as much,
dry up fast.
it'll dry up, it'll turn, you know, you don't want to get eye infections and stuff like that. So check your expiration dates, go through your medicine cabinets, and then maybe you need to say, hey, I don't have enough storage for my makeup, or maybe my you know, under my bed. Some people don't have under the what's that word? Under the vanity. In the vanity, you know, you want to have organization for that. And then in the drawers was where I keep my makeup, you know, go through those things and then say, hey, I don't want to just keep throwing it in here. You know, maybe there's some containers or soft-sided things that would work out that you could pull out and put on the counter as you're putting your makeup on, or whatever your beauty routine is. Maybe you don't wear any makeup, but you do put moisturizers on, or you do put, you know, your sunscreen or whatever. Not everybody has a ton of makeup like I mean, I have a lot of stuff. Right. Something like that.
As well, because then when you're doing your makeup, you could bring it out, you know.
That would never fit. That would never fit in anything that I have in my bathroom. Yeah, that is
Her
way too big.
bathroom and my bathroom.
Yeah, we have very
so
small. I
different.
have a very traditional center Cape Cod, very small bathroom, and so everything kind of has to be smaller.
You guys have those little
you know,
bitty totes.
Yeah,
though,
it has
right?
to be smaller.
You have those little square totes, 31 house,
Yes,
right?
yes.
They're like small.
Yeah.
What do you keep? What do you keep under your sink there, Sarah? Do you keep your makeup on top or in the drawers, or your beauty products, or do you keep it in your bedroom? You know, some people have a vanity in their bedroom, and that's cool. I happen to have a vanity in my bedroom. I don't use it.
You know
for
what?
that.
I've been jealous of. I've been jealous. Actually, I have a friend in her house. In her she has a vanity in her bedroom, and it's like, oh, to have space.
I have a vanity in my bedroom. I don't use it for makeup or beauty products. I don't sit at it. I don't use it for that. I do the bathroom. But Sarah, what do you do? Where do you keep all that stuff?
Bathroom in my bedroom. So, you know, I
do. Okay.
So
that's cool.
It's like a 3/4 bathroom. So it's got a shower, not a tub.
Yeah.
But over the toilet shelving that I have on.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, those are nice. The way that my bathroom is constructed, I can't have one. Basically everything that's in my bathroom has to be custom done, you know, which is fine. So then you're always kind of in a, you know, the search for the right things that fit, you know, the right things that fit. But you know, I think people skip over that. You know, they clean their kitchen like Holly did, because she wanted things doing Sarah and I are working on the closets.
You know what else I think is really hard?
And then your makeup and your pills, your makeup, your medicine cabinet, which by the way, do not ever keep your medicines in the bathroom.
What do we got there?
This is our Get Creative line.
Okay.
Which is really for artsy craftsy people. My children all have these, but they're in Texas, so you know I couldn't steal their stuff to show it off in person. But it's really great, not just for artsy craftsies, but for things like makeup and medicine, especially when you look at the fact that you've got these that are see-through, as well as they're made of plastic, so you can wipe them out easy. Which is why they're also for arts and crafts, because you know you want to be able to clean this stuff very easily.
God forbid your glitter glue explodes. You just need to be able to wipe it
off. How about your cars? Guys, are your cars organized?
Yes, my car is extremely organized.
Mine is not right now.
Mine is extremely organized. And I have a 7-year-old.
But these are awesome to keep in your car. Here on Guam, we just went to no plastic bags. Beginning of the year. So what I love is that you can throw these in your purse, you can throw these in your glove box, you can throw them anywhere you want. You've got a bag.
Oh, I like
Very
flamingos.
cool.
How cute.
Very
Yeah,
good.
it's always I always have bags, paper towels, Windex, first aid kit. I have a 31, the big organizer,
Large
the big
utility
organizer
tote.
in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I'm always big on having a thing for garbage in the car, and I have a 7-year-old. I'm very proud of the fact that I keep a very clean car. You would
Yeah,
think that with a kid.
7-year-old?
With a 7-year-old, I keep a very clean car. But and I've always been that way. I always kind of keep, even when I drove a jalopy, like, or the worst cars ever, and I've had a few. Because I was always like, hey, even if I paid $300 for it, I'm gonna take care of it. But and sometimes that's easier said than done, especially in Sarah's case, because her car is her office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, like, and you know, you eating on the go or whatever your lifestyle is, and some people work from their car, you know, it gets, but yeah, being organized, I think is, what do you think, Sarah? Don't you think it's important also with your vehicle?
Well, absolutely. And mine, I mean, I used to always keep like baskets in my car with the various things in it. But then during having to do some moving recently, I had to kind of get disorganized again. So it's
Yeah.
time to reorganize myself.
Mhm.
Well, I think it also like makes it easier for you because like you can just go from the car to showing a house to the office and then home. And like you said, you're not at the office going, oh crap, I forgot that paper. Or, you know, okay, here I am. I happen to have to eat in the car. Where am I going to put, you know what I mean? Like, or your Dunkin' Donuts or coffee or whatever you're doing. It's like, it gets kind of, I think like we get overwhelmed too. Like if we have too much clutter and too much going on and we're not organized, it's like it makes us, I think it really kind of takes a toll, like especially like in Sarah's case, because she has to sort of live out of her car in a lot of ways or a lot of days. I'm sure there's days that you're not home for large clips. So you're
Right.
eating maybe in your car. I mean, I'm not saying that she's in like hiding in the McDonald's parking lot eating a cheeseburger or anything. I'm not making it look like that. But like, you know, you take your snacks and, you know, so it's like, where do I put stuff? And then at the end of the day, so it's like, I think just ways to maybe find how you have to think about, I think, and this is kind of part of what we talked about last week, is kind of thinking about what your lifestyle's like, what your day is like, what's convenient for you, you know.
Well, and it's hard. Like, I mean, I would love to leave some snacks in my car, but then I live in the woods, so I don't want to draw mice into my car, you know? So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's always something that you have to kind of deal with that way. That's
Oh,
very
I have, you know what? I have a couple of those
Right?
in the Christmas style. They're like a little elf one, I think I have, and I bought
cute.
them for my son. Yeah, they're really cute.
They're
They're
little
really cute.
snackers.
That's adorable.
And you can totally rinse them out, Sarah.
Yes. Mine currently have my business cards.
Do you have anything that's not little kid?
Oh, of course.
Because I don't know if I see Sarah with a shark one. I mean, maybe whatever.
Yeah,
turns
no,
you on,
no.
Sarah. I mean, you could. I mean, but I'm just saying.
I hate to say it. My car is like the land of the lost. Like I things, and then like I really have to. You know what's in the back seat of my car right now? Something to say mugs and get seen in the Poconos water bottles because. And they've been in there for months because I have them in there so that I can give them to people. But at the same time, they really shouldn't be stored on the floor of the backseat of my car. You know, it's like, I'm like, I should come up with a different storage solution for my swag, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a good spot for it right now because I don't know.
So Sarah needs in her car, she needs someplace to put her mobile office, and a little lunch tote to bring in and out her snacks.
Yep.
A place to put bottled water if she gets thirsty. And so you need to do a car. So you're like really focusing this year, this month, or this quarter. Let's just say this quarter, because we're not going to tell Sarah that she needs to get all this done in the month. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So like if you say, okay, by a such and such a time, I want to have my closets done and my car organized to the point where like I can feel what like, and then kind of like set a date, and then you could make a list and say, okay, I need something to put, like Katrin showed us the home office thing that you could kind of pick up, you know, and take from place to place. And then maybe some things that would be food solution oriented where you don't have like a bear trying to get in your car. Oh, that wouldn't be good either.
That's cute.
It's a
Is that a
thermal.
cooler?
Yep,
Okay.
and it's a backpack.
That's a great solution for the snacks that the mice can avoid, because you can put your drinks and your snacks and everything in there.
I mean, if a mouse chews through that, I don't think that they're going to get in the car. I mean, they might get in the car and get up to the bag, but I don't think they're going to get in the bag.
If they get that far, they've earned that
You
snack.
could strap that. You could strap that to the back of the seat, Sarah.
Right.
Yeah.
You could
That's
strap
true.
that to the back of the seat. Have your like little bags of pretzels or whatever you like,
Mhm.
and some water bottles, and then and also too, we got to think about sanitizers, masks, like where we're putting all that in the car too. Like I keep that stuff in the car. I don't move.
I do too.
I don't move my car stuff to my house stuff.
Right there.
Right. So you can kind of have like an emergency pack of like snacks, drinks, masks, and sanitizer.
You can match your mask to your
There you go.
bags, because this is a 31 mask.
Do you
And
have
if
your
I-
initials on your mask?
Personalize them.
That's all.
That's too much.
We can have it say something to say on it. More swag.
You know, because like in Sarah's case, she has to think about what is going to stay in the car versus what she's going to bring.
Right.
Like she's going to bring her work in and out, or like a teacher would bring their work in and out.
Yeah.
Maybe see, we're not doing a lot of shows or anything where we're meeting clients. Like when I used to meet clients, I would have my samples and different things in, and you could just be able to take it right into Panera, wherever you're meeting, the person's house or whatever you're meeting them. Life is so different now in the way we function and how we're doing things. I mean, so we kind of have to, I think it's important to not just go like willy-nilly, like through the rooms and say, okay, what can I clean? It's not really about that. I think it's like, how do we live? Am I spending more time in my car? Am I at home? Am I doing both? Because you don't want to, like in Sarah's case, she's not going to take everything. She's not going to be like a pack mule. She doesn't have a Sherpa, like taking all this stuff. So like she has to think about, we all have to think about, like I'm home 80% of the time. I'm the complete opposite now. I'm home 80% of the time. So for me, everything that kind of happens, that's probably why my car is so neat, because we don't, we're not going on those long trips. We're not going out as much. We're not eating the fast food in the car or we're not kind of going from place to place or practice or whatever. So, my lifestyle is different compared to Sarah's lifestyle, where her business is now 80% in the car, where I'm 80% home. Holly goes in the car and then she goes to work. So she needs things that she could take in and out to take into the office, like water bottle, coffee, all that stuff. And then
I do feel like a Sherpa in the morning sometimes, because I do haul a lot of stuff.
you need one of those big bags.
Yeah,
She needs one of those
I'm
big
getting better at it, because
Yeah.
we're heading it up to, like, I have to get whatever I'm gonna get done in my house by the second week in February. So, and also in my office, like I gotta get my office ready and I gotta get my house ready, because tax season starts and then I can't do anything because I'm working 6 days a week and nights and all this sort of stuff. So I am trying to stock my stash of food stuff in my office, my food.
Yeah.
Like I made sure I had a full box of fizz there, so I have my drinks, and I'm starting to take, but I still.
So that you don't have to kind of bring it back, right? So you don't have to keep like
right.
You have to
schlep it
walk back and
right
forth.
back
Right,
and
I'm trying
forth.
to get
Like,
it all prepared. So
I mean, I think everybody has to just look at their life. Like, how do we live at home? How do I go to? Am I going to the office? Am I on the road like Sarah is?
Well, and let's
Am
face
I?
it, most of us are home more than we've been in years.
Oh my
So-
gosh. I never thought that I would be home this much. And I actually really, really do like it. So when you're home a lot,
is one of those people who was always doing something. Like she is, she'll do stuff with people. She'll do stuff by herself. Like she'll
always
do
somewhere
by
doing something.
herself.
And now I'm home with a 7-year-old all the time. So now, like, I think you have to,
But I
kind
think
of just,
realizing what needs to change in our homes, because
you're constantly
before-
staring at it, right, Sarah? You're
That's right.
constantly looking at that closet going, I need to go into the
I
closet.
need to do something in this closet.
Right.
And the other thing that I'm finding is that because I'm working mostly from home, I'm meeting my clients less, or
Right.
because I work for HUD. It's not like I have to go and meet a client at a house. I'm just going out in my sweats and, doing whatever needs to be done, taking pictures, putting up a sign, whatever.
Right.
So I don't need all of the fancy clothes that I had forever and ever, you know, the suits and the slacks and the, you know,
Mhm.
I mean,
dresses.
that's like a whole other show too, because it's like you just
Because
don't
everybody
know.
changed.
But that's
Yeah,
why,
like
like,
that's like a whole other wardrobe essentials.
I-
Yeah,
daunting because
right.
I need, there is so much in there that I am probably never going to wear again.
Right.
So, you know, it's a matter of like looking at the closet and saying, okay, I need to get rid of 3/4 of what's in here
Right.
so that I can, you know,
Don't forget to hug it and bless it and say,
I
"Oh,
did
thank
not
God."
hug and bless all of my banker
I
suits.
did not know.
The day
Um,
that I threw them out, well, I didn't throw them out. I donated them to Echo to help fund the local women's shelter.
Right.
The day I got rid of half a closet full of women's
Yeah.
tight traditional suits was like the best day of my life. That was just like a best day of my purging life.
I
you
mean, I
know?
have gowns that I need to find a place, you know, and I don't think that they're having proms like they used to.
No.
So,
No, yeah,
you know,
that's the other
so-
thing too. Yeah, that's the thing.
so
Maybe
it's
shrink bags for right now. Maybe shrink them down for right
Yep.
now. And then, I mean, things will change. They will have that. There will be a time. What I don't like to see is anything going to a landfill, or maybe see if you can go and put them down at De Novo. And they'll do like they do, I think, a credit or like store credit or something like that. They might be able to take it.
clothing exchanges here, but
Right.
that's
You know, I
all
mean,
other.
I think the whole thing is that you really have to, I think in order to not drive yourself badass crazy, unless it's an absolute like must have. Hello, kitty,
What is
kitty in
that?
the basket.
Kitty and
Not approved.
You know,
pretty
as
cute,
if
kitty.
it's an immediate need in an emergency clean out situation, you know, that you have to do, focus on that. Otherwise, I think it's just like everything else. Sit down, make a list, prioritize. If you do have a spouse or a partner that's in the house or adult children, because a lot of adult children are living at home, you want to sit down with everybody. What are the priorities, room by room? If you are a person that gets overwhelmed, my top tip is do not try to do it all at once. If you do not have to, it does not matter if it takes you a year. So prioritize with your family that lives in the house. Involve everyone that lives in the house. I don't care if that is if there's a toddler, the toddler has a role too, and have them take ownership of their space, their room, their things. You know, there are places that are taking donations. Call ahead, ask what they need. If you have baby things, call the pregnancy resource centers, call the Salvation Army. If they can't take it, they can direct you. There's a will, there's a way. I think it's just having conversation. You have to have a conversation with yourself and the other people that live in the room, in the home. But I think having a conversation of what's your priority, what's really bothering you at that point. And also the flip side of that, and I was thinking about this today, is, you know, we're not getting rid of things that we don't need and then going out and replacing, unless it's a replacement situation. I really do desperately need to get rid of XYZ because I'm going to take my tax return or the money that I've saved, and I'm going to, you know, if it's something you've been saving up for, of course, replace it. But, you know, we want to kind of also, it's not just about cleaning out our home or reorganizing, it's also looking at our finances. For me, I do not spend money on unnecessary things unless it's a gift or like our daily things like our food or medication or whatever, you know, vitamins or anything like that. Obviously, we're going to purchase that, but I don't buy myself clothes. I don't buy decorative items. I don't buy crafts. I don't buy any of that stuff from January 1st till the middle of March. Now, last year I did that and said I wasn't going to go into any stores. And guess what happened? They all got shut down. So I mean, you know,
It was pretty
you can
easy.
also put yourself on a spending freeze as well. It's not just about cleaning out or purging. You also have to look at your spending. That's a whole other show, and that's a whole other thing. But you have to kind of, if you're going to do one, you kind of have to look like, okay, well, I'm going to go get rid of all these coats or sweaters. But then now, so I think it's almost look at what we need to get rid of. Look at what your priorities of needs are. Do we need to replace the boots, the coats? You know, what are we do? You know, what is so tattered? What are we treating ourselves to? You know, also include that too, because taking stuff out and then bringing stuff in that's not necessary kind of defeats the purpose. So you kind of have to, again, prioritize, have conversations with the people that live in the home, the adults and the kids, have them, everybody be involved, clean out those closets, fold those towels in a roll. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. But, and give yourself some time. And give yourself some time if you have it. If you have the time, like Sarah, for you,
Funny.
and get your and of course you have my total permission. Like if you're on a spending freeze for superfluous things, like whatever that might be, if your habit is to buy lots of jewelry or clothes or whatever it is, but if you have to buy storage, this is the time too. White sale, sheets,
Yeah.
towels,
February is the
storage.
best time of the year to buy home products. That's
Exactly.
That's the
So check
financial
your
advice.
flyers and shop smart, right, Sarah? Shop
That's
at a
right.
discount.
My
Shop
big
at a
tip,
discount.
because I know Leah feels, she just mentioned it, that, don't put stuff in the landfill if you can avoid it, because a lot of places aren't taking donations. There are alternate opportunities to give. So I have a tendency to put things on Facebook for free. You need to come and pick it up. Like I'll wrap it up
Yeah.
and put it on my stoop, and you can have a contact-free
Or just put it out. Like we live on a major road. So we live on Chipperfield right here, and it's a major. Holly lives on a major thoroughfare.
Mhm.
Sarah can always bring her stuff and put it. She lives kind of back off of the major road, so she could always bring it here. We put stuff out. We put stuff out.
Yeah, I always feel like you're putting it out to the universe, and whoever takes it should be happy with it.
Yeah,
And
you would not believe the stuff that I have put out on the side of this road that I thought there is not my mother got rid of a recliner that sat in the rain. And I thought for days that I thought there is no way anybody's going to take this now. It's going to be all heavy. And what about the mechanics? And it was gone. You know what? People they want, they look at it and see a diamond in the rough. They can change it. They can fix it. Some people are very handy. It's not meant for me. It can go, like Holly said, it goes out to the universe. Sarah, you're more than welcome to always bring something and put it in my front yard.
Thank you.
Well,
You want to get rid of it.
I think we've had a really great time talking about organizing and all the things that we can do to get our house together. I
We
think
could really have a separate show for every room and everything. Really, honestly.
I think we do need to look at the clothes one though, because I'm one of those people who holds on to clothes that I haven't worn for years. Because
too.
I just might one day wear it. Is that really going to happen? So I think we need to have a clothing conversation. I think that's something we can do.
Closet conversation. Come out of the closet.
Get out of the closet.
Clothing conversation.
I heard about putting all your clothes backward, like the hangers backwards.
That
in your
is,
closet.
they tell you to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what, Ketchum, we'll have you back on when we do. We're gonna go into people's closets because I'm not afraid to show you what I've done. And also there's the hangers that have the multiple. I think you have to look at your individual closets. Some people have the big ones. Some people have the old-fashioned ones. Sarah has an opportunity maybe where she could expand or change or flip around or make something. You could put units. You kind of have to just think about it. You know what I mean? Expand your mind, expand the closet, expand your mind.
We've had a really good time with Katrin. Our
Yes,
friend who
thank
joined
you.
us all the way from Guam. It is Wednesday morning there, so she's doing Wednesday morning while we're doing Tuesday night. We are going to make sure that in the comments we get your link for your page.
Yes.
Your sales page. If you could do that, once the show's over, Katrin, if you could log on yourself and put that in there, and so that people can contact you directly if they have any questions or want to buy anything. We highly suggest 31 products. They're awesome, and Katrin knows all about them, and she will help you figure out what you need to organize your space. We want to thank our sponsor, BrokersRealty.com, for bringing us to you every week. BrokersRealty.com of Stroudsburg is a great place to go if you need to buy, sell, rent your property. Right now it is a seller's market, and the inventory in the Poconos is very, very, very low. Actually, in Pennsylvania, it's very low. So if you're interested in a house here, contact Sarah at BrokersRealty.com of Stroudsburg. And there's a little kitty from Guam too.
Hello, kitty.
You adopted kitties right away when you relocated, right, Katrin? So we love that too. She rescued immediately. So we love that. So we want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday night with another fun episode. We're going to talk more about New Year, New You, and all the things that we can do to make things better for 2021. Everybody stay safe and have a great week.